What's up? How's it going, peeps? Sure you guys had a great week, just like I did. Long one, maybe. Yeah, I definitely had a long one. It is the weekend finally. It is Friday. Thank heavens for Fridays. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a really good day. You know, because, well, if you work or job like I do, you get 2 days off, right? Really tired. I apologize, peeps. Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll explain maybe a little bit better other than the long week. I have a thyroid problem. My thyroid is actually, well, it's Hashimoto thyroiditis. If anyone knows what that is, and if you don't, then I'll explain. It's pretty much where my thyroid actually goes back and forth from underactive to overactive. And, yeah. So I have to take thyroid medicine for it to stay in between. And if you don't know anything about the thyroid controls well, technically it controls every organ in your body, but they list it as every major organ. But if you think about it, it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. But, yeah, so I didn't realize I was running low on medicine, my thyroid medicine. If anyone has a thyroid issue, they probably know the kind of medicine I'm taking. Brand name, Levoxyl, unbrand, levothyroxazine, something like that. Pretty sure I have the levothyroxazine. But anyways, I didn't realize I was running low, and so then, the last minute, I ordered my medicine. And, of course, I can't pick it up until Monday. So this whole week I have gone without medicine. Pretty much. Anyways, so that's why I'm probably like, Alright, so, other than that, I thought today we might talk about something, well, I guess we'll call it serious. What's wrong with you? Hi.
No, I started to fall asleep and then she called me and I was like, oh shit. Justin's got a 2006 Dodge Charger, fully loaded, for $2,000. I know.
Oh, you're talking about that guy. Oh, goodness. Okay, so, anyways, I thought we'd talk about,
Not drawing on the walls.
It's beautiful, though. I thought we'd talk about, suicide awareness.
You're gonna commit suicide?
Steven.
Could you pay your monthly rent first before you do that, though? Just make sure you pay next month.
Just make sure I pay next month.
And then do whatever you please.
Well, when I find my Wells Fargo card, I'll let you know. Don't get water on my speaker, please. Okay, so anyways, we're going to talk about that.
Committing suicide.
Suicide awareness, Steven. Awareness.
Oh, I thought you were going to commit suicide. I said, just make sure you pay your rent first. Is that insensitive?
It's very insensitive, but couldn't expect anything less from you. I'm just kidding. Okay, so now that I spent 4 minutes talking about the subject, maybe I should actually get into it. So I think that are you done washing the walls?
No. Oh.
Okay, so I think that you guys like the noise of him washing the walls in the background. Probably not.
Oh, is it in the video?
Well, I'm currently recording.
Oh.
I mean, did you think I was just talking to myself?
No, I don't know.
You just don't know. Okay, so anyways, I thought that it'd be a good subject to talk about because it is a very big thing. It happens to a lot of people on a regular basis. Um, it is one of those things that people like to judge. They like to make people wrong for it. Did you just slap yourself?
You got white stuff all over me.
I'm not even gonna say anything else.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that it's kind of messed up for someone to do that. Now, I've already had a discussion on here about judgment and how people use that.
You had a discussion about dead men with the president?
I did actually have a discussion about presidents.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I did have a discussion about judgment. And I think that you guys remember the video if you watched it. The talk about how we judge based on what we know in ourselves, okay?
Judging.
Do you guys like the serenade in the background? Bye, Steven. So, from that information, you can kind of get an assumption of why people might judge someone else for doing that. What they know may not be the same as what someone who is dealing with it knows. I'm not saying it's right for them to judge them. I'm not saying it's right for them to say that they deserved it or anything like that. But I do think that maybe they don't understand it. And it is a tricky thing to understand because a lot of people will say, oh, well, they just gave up on life. It's their own damn problem. Or, oh, well, they obviously, didn't love themselves. Or they obviously did not know how to look at the brighter side. I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of different assumptions, and I know there is. And I know there's a lot of things in different belief systems as well that believe that it's wrong and that you'll go to hell for it, which I think is also pretty messed up to assume as well. Suicide, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. On the other hand, I'm also not saying that that they should be made wrong for it. I've been there. I've actually tried to commit suicide quite a few times in my life. And wouldn't say that I was giving up, but I didn't see any other option. I had no idea there was any other option. I was also one of those people who didn't like to talk about my emotions and had no idea how to confront the things that I was going through. And it's hard because I was very closed off to everything that I was going through, but I still had those emotions. The unconscious mind was still active and became present in the moments that it needed to be. And of course, I reacted based on that. And I had no idea what to do. And for me, I felt like letting go was the easiest. Everybody would be rid of me. Not really realizing that, maybe people might actually not want to get rid of me. I thought that I would be rid of my problems, not really realizing that I can overcome them. And I thought that I was better off because I didn't think I could handle anymore. And, a lot of people get to that point. One of the number one things, though, that people don't know about the brain when it comes to suicide is that a lot of the times when someone gets to that point, their serotonin is super low. So again, to be able to judge someone over something that they can't control, that's pretty messed up. And anytime in general, the serotonin is low, but sometimes the serotonin is low because of things that we are unaware of, reasons that we are unaware of. Now, if you have no idea what the serotonin is, it is, well, they call it the natural happy drug. But it is not a drug. No, what serotonin is I guess it would be called a hormone, but not really. It's more of that, what would we call this? I know there's a word for it, and obviously I can't think right now, probably because my thyroid is making my brain less functional. But, it is, oh God, it's like that switch that's turned on in your brain that makes you happy. But it's something that's sent to the brain, and you can have a low level of it as well as a high level of it. It is, well, a very big cause of depression. If your serotonin's low, it's probably because you're not getting the nutrients that is helping you build that serotonin. Of course. People who automatically judge someone, though, for their want or attempt to commit suicide, usually don't understand enough about the brain or the other person or even themselves. And, that's all fine and dandy, right? But, maybe, just maybe, you who are sitting there judging someone who wants to do it could actually be a helping hand. Or someone who has attempted it, you could be a listening ear. Instead, of course, of making the assumption that they were just crazy, so that's why they did it. Or they were just asking for attention, and that's why they did it. Or they just did not care enough about life, or themselves, or the people around them, or, I could probably keep going. But I think you get my point, right? It's really not about them being selfish. It's really not about them being unaware of everything around them. No, it's just something they can't control. And a lot of people go through that. And a lot of people are ashamed to talk about it. And why is that? Because of that judgment. And it's hard. It's hard to go through that and feel like you can't talk about it. It's also hard to have been through that and feel like you can't talk about it. One of my many attempts, I'm not sure if I've ever shown this before, but this guy right here, it's kind of hard to show. I had it covered up by a tattoo. It's right down a vein I cut, and it definitely bled a lot. The worst part was that my mother found me, and I was hiding it from her at first, and then I realized how much she cared, and then I showed it to her. And my mom later told me that she had a hard time walking into that room afterwards to clean up the sheets. But when she finally did, my blood stain was in the shape of a heart. It's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy. I mean, I have this thing that always happens to me. Hearts follow me. They follow me quite often. Randomly, one will show up. Most of the time, it's when I need it the most. But sometimes it's just because. And definitely think that was maybe a moment when I needed it the most. It wasn't purposeful, you know, having that stain in the shape of a heart. But hearing that made me realize something. And that was the last time I actually tried to commit suicide. And I've actually done a lot of soul searching since then. Got really into spirituality. I found myself. I found my calling. I fell in love with myself. You know, every now and again I fall out of love with myself and I need to fall back in love. Sometimes it's the hardest to stay in love with yourself, right? I mean, you see yourself on a regular basis. You know yourself better than you know anyone else. And sometimes you question a lot about yourself because, well, you know, some things you can't control. And some things you wish you hadn't have done. So, for the most part, you know, we're going to always constantly have to fall in love with ourselves. I don't think it will ever be 100% perfect, which nothing ever will be. Nothing will ever be. It won't. But I do think that if you have ever felt the need to commit suicide, or you're currently going through a time in your life where you're questioning whether you should, or you know someone who has, just know that it's not wrong. It's not wrong to think about it. It's not wrong to have done it. But there was more out there. There was more out there that could have been done. There's more out there for you. There is still more out there for you. And, you know, stay hopeful. And maybe, figure out how to build that serotonin. And find happiness. There's a silver lining to everything. Something that I've always believed in. Even the horrible things that have happened to me, I've learned something from them. I've gained something from them. And I'm stronger because of them. It's all having had a silver lining. And maybe you won't notice it right here and now. And maybe it'll take you a long time to find that silver lining. But when you do, just know that every single one of those things will eventually be shown to you. And hold on to that silver lining, because it's going to get you through. And if you ever need someone to talk to, again, find me on Instagram and send me a direct message, alright? I'm here. I've been through it. I understand it. I know how it is. I also know how to look at a situation in a better way that maybe we could find you some help. So, good luck. And stay beautiful, because you are. Like, subscribe, and peace.